Zombie apocalypse.
What is going on, you guys? Yugioh here, and I want to go ahead and say, first of all, sorry that I was unable to put my banlist reaction initially. I was at work, as you see by my what's it called, my 11-second video that I was able to post while I was at work. Couldn't say anything because, you know, if I start yelling about Yu-Gi-Oh and banlist while we have clients, it's pretty much not a good look. But I want to go ahead and analyze how exactly this this ban list that just came out will impact the current format it is right now. And if they put it in, you know, in easy words to digest, it's not. So the format itself as it is right now, it's going to stay the same as far as what are the top tier decks. Virtual World is still going to be number 1, followed by Eldritch, you know, not in any order, but Drytron, Zoo, Eldritch, you know, the Virtual World, Trap Shadow is still going to be doing very well as well. So Invoke Shadow especially. And the thing with this ban list is that I think this is the ban list that everyone was more or less expecting, and then Konami went and upped it up a notch. And what I mean by that essentially is that this is a very fair ban list. It makes the competitive decks feel so much more fair. It feels like it gives other decks a lot more hope. For example, Phantom Knights, they got Rusty Bardish back to 3. It's not like you really need 3, but it gets people excited to see what they can do if they can go ahead and extend, you know, make triple Bardish. You know, it helps them sell their products by, you know, getting, what's it called, the Deoloran, the Tiger King of the Ice Barrier. Unbanning that, making it, you know, go to 3, that's really good as well. Again, pushing Pendulums a little bit more. We didn't get back Electromite, but we got Ignister, Prominence, the Blast Draco Slayer at 3, which is an amazing synchro monster. You know, we got Dragon Buster, Destruction Sword back, which itself is not a cancerous card. The issue was Union Carrier. So with that being said, we're seeing Konami start to make a more, I don't want to say an educated approach, but they're making the game that much more fun. So essentially what the balance was trying to do was really just keep all the top tier decks in check and give other decks the opportunity to go ahead and bounce back and to be able to go ahead and actually have competitive edge, to actually have an opening so that we can actually, you know, experience different decks and have the most fun format possible. They got rid of cards like Utopic Zexo, which people have been crying out to go ahead and get banned for the longest time. That's finally banned. Essentially, cards that don't let your opponent play have been banned. Union Carrier was the reason why Dragon Buster was an issue, because you could literally throw in any single deck and you go ahead and lock them out, right? So that's amazing that Dragon Buster Destruction Sword can now be used in Buster Blader decks again. So that's amazing. It means Buster Blader might make a run at being top tier now. I mean, maybe tier 2, you know? And essentially, when it comes to it, Virtual World is still going to be an amazing deck, even without Calamities. The fact that now we don't have Calamities really forces the creativity to come out. And I've seen videos from, especially Yassine, 569 or 65, you know, numbers you've seen. If you haven't checked out his videos or, you know, his channel already, I highly recommend it. I will have his link in the description. A very, very brilliant individual. He already found a way to break the virtual world as they currently are. And the thing is that we had the options to make these boards from the beginning, but it was just so, you know, it was just the correct way. It was to go ahead and make True King of Calamities. When a card says shut off all your opponent's monster effects, essentially, what are you to do but to go ahead and, you know, play the Calamities? But now we have so many more combos. We're actually going to be able to use the Shen. We're actually going to be able to experience with all different things, different cards. Ultimate Zolkin's coming back into the mix. Haven't heard that name in forever. I think it's been years. You know, there's cards like, you know, there's Splashing Dragoons in there, which I understand some people may want to be limited or want it to be, you know, just get rid of it forever. But essentially, even if and if you go watch Yassine's video on this, he shows a very, very informative tutorial on how to go ahead and summon Dragoons. But the thing is, because it's not sent with 2 normal monsters, you don't get the pop effect. So it's taken out the necessity to play Retta Plant Verte. It's taking out the necessity to play 3 bricks essentially in your deck. You don't need to play Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. You don't need to play Dark Magician. You don't need to play uh, Red Eyes. So essentially, that's what it's trying to do. It made Virtual World. Before, it was just this make calamities or lose deck. Now, even if you don't have calamities, you can still go ahead and actually have a lot more interactions with your opponent. You can still set up multiple negation boards. You can, he set up a board with a, Crystal Wing, a Dragoon, Chuchi. So the deck itself has become so much more interactive, which actually makes it so much more interesting, which is actually why I actually, went out and picked up Virtual World deck. It's going to be coming in about a week, so we'll see if TCG Player, gets on that. But yeah, besides Virtual World, cards like, the Drytrons. The Drytrons, essentially, the biggest issue with it is because, yes, a big issue with it is that you are able to summon a Herald of Ultimateness, and it has like 40 negates on it, and it's absolutely insane because you just keep negating, which is an issue, but eventually you can bait out enough negates to where they don't have any more resources in their hand. Now, putting Ben 10 to 1 is an amazing check for the deck because the deck can still perform exactly what it was able to do before, but now it can be stopped a lot more simpler. So maybe we see cards like DD Crow start really making a push for that. For one of the best hand traps this format, because if you are to banish the Ben 10, then they have no more Ben 10s left in the entire deck. So that's so amazing because essentially it gives the opponent the opportunity to be able to stop the consistency of the Drytron player. I think that's personally amazing. I think it's great to see. I think it's very healthy for the game overall to not have that ability to just spam a monster over and over and over again, and to have that at 3, that's absolutely insane. But Ben 10 to 1 is definitely something that is not going to kill Drytron by any means whatsoever. Drytron's still going to be one of the best decks. I mean, it's very consistent, extremely consistent, but it's going to lower that consistency and give your opponent the opportunity to go ahead and fight back, which was why I think Drytron is going to be a lot more interesting to go ahead and play against. Maybe they go ahead and put more like a Called by the Grave in the deck, whatever counters hand traps. Maybe put 2 strikes in the deck, whatever. I'm not really sure how Drytron is actually going to evolve. I mean, it's not really too much you're changing. It's just 2 cards in your main deck, but that can mean the world in some decks rather than others. The only real deck that was untouched completely was Zodiac Eldritch, which essentially I want to say out of the big 3, the Drytron's Virtual World and the Zoo Eldritch, I want to say Zoo Eldritch was probably like the 3rd best deck. Here's the thing with Zoo Eldritch. It's a very interactive deck, but I don't find it being an unfair deck. So yes, the Golden Lord can go ahead and boost itself with 3,500 attack and all the and with it, all the spells and traps become live, and then it starts popping your back row and your monsters and whatnot. So yes, it can be seen as an annoying deck to go up against. But again, if you get rid of the Golden Lord, you're good, which is why I'm pushing a little bit more for DD Crow to go ahead and come into the mix as one of the top hand traps, because essentially, once their Golden Lord is in the graveyard, just activate DD Crow, get rid of it, and then all the spells and traps pretty much become useless at that point. So essentially, that's another good check by Konami to not hit any of the Eldline cards because they haven't been seen as cancerous or bad or unhealthy for the game just yet. Now we will see how the deck changes over time. Maybe I'm wrong, but essentially I think that was probably it was by far the most fair deck out of the big 3. So I love what this ban list was able to do for the for Buster Blader decks. I love what it was able to do for Phantom Knights, for Ice Barriers. I hope they sell a whole bunch of product now, because right now they're sitting at like maybe $7 for for one of those Ice Barrier structure decks. I told you guys it wasn't going to be meta, but maybe with the Lauren to 3, I don't know if that card's got it. I'm pretty sure it's got an errata, so even if it's a 3, it's not going to do too much. I am going to have a True Draco profile coming up very soon, so go ahead and stick around for that. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below as far as what the ban list was actually able to do for the deck. What do you guys think is going to be the next best deck moving forward? Do you think Dinosaurs are actually going to go up a tier from tier 2 to tier 1? Let me know in the comment section down below, guys. If you would, please go ahead and gently punch that like button in the face and subscribe for more videos, guys. I will go ahead and see y'all in the next one.